Hello, hope you're having a great day. Today is a overcast day here in South Central BC, so I thought this would be a great day to do some hard work, so I'm not going to be dripping buckets as I'm planting almost 75 plants. So I am not an adaptable person, and usually I like to, have a plan and then just go with it. But you know what? Gardening is changing that in me for the better. So there's an excavator next door, if that's what you hear. Anyway, the plan was I ordered a ton of perennials. If you didn't see that video, I'll link it up here. All of these were for my cottage garden, cottage cutting garden, actually, just down in the lower area of our property. And they were supposed to go down there and be this beautiful plan. It was supposed to be this beautiful plan for cutting and just looking very whimsical. Unfortunately, some of them were given to me in bags, and we are not ready to plant them out. The water has not reached that area, so I do not want to be trucking buckets of water to water them every single day. So I'm rolling with the punches, and I'm going to do something different. I do have a bunch that I'm storing outside that are potted up, like they're in the little seedling trays. Those are fine. They are totally fine to just sit and wait. I've hardened them off. They are just waiting for the water. But these three that I have in this box, they are not the same story. They are in bags, like I said, and they are just crying and crying to be planted. So I don't want to ruin them and waste good plants. So I'm going to switch my plan and put them in our orchard. So we have, along the fence, we have this line of fruit trees. On the one side, it's just apples and pears. The other side, we have cherry, plum, maybe apricot. Anyway, so the one side I'm going to be planting, I did tons of bulbs last year, and it's beautiful. The area was lawn, so I'm slowly changing out the area to be more of a fruit guild area. Just beneficial plants for the apple and pear trees, because the grass is a nutrient sucker and a water hog. So I wanted to get rid of the grass and put some more, pollinator friendly type things in the fruit tree area. So my plan was to do these three, and it kind of worked out well, which I'm very, very excited about. So we have 6 trees, and I'm thinking groups of 3 in between each one. So that's about 12 plantings if I kind of space them out in between the 6 trees. So yeah, this is what I'm thinking. So the front part of the bed is bulbs that I said I planted. And then the back half has almost nothing. I did a few spatterings of, I don't know, perennials that I bought last year. Salvia, speedwell, daylily, that type of thing. Nothing huge. And there's not a lot. This area is huge. I think it's 90 feet. So it's going to take a lot to fill it up. So enter my 3 bags of 24 per bag. So yeah, these are the ones I'm going to be planting today. So the first one is Campanula glomerata superba. And this is a beautiful, I think it's also called clustered bells, something like that. It's beautiful, and it doesn't get too tall, so I'm thinking it'll look lovely just behind the fence there. Unfortunately, I didn't paint the fence. I would like to do that before I planted, but these are bare root plants, so the foliage is not going to get in the way. We'll just have to be careful not to step on them before we paint the fence, which is a spring job that still needs to get done. Okay, so that is the first one. And then the second one is Salvia nemorosa Snow Hill, which is a nice white linear flower. And all of these do well in sun or to partial shade, which is perfect because this area changes throughout the year, because obviously fruit trees are deciduous and they lose their leaves, and then they have leaves during different parts of the year. So these will tolerate both conditions, which is just fabulous. Okay, and then the last one, and this is a great example of a plant's way of just saying, plant me. And this, I believe, is goat's beard. Aruncus dioicis, goat's beard, which is the tallest of the 3. So this will be at the back of the tri-cluster, if you will. So anyway, these are gonna go, like I said, in groups of 3 along the fence behind the apple trees, and I think it'll just be a beautiful splash of color. Most of these bloom, I think all of them bloom June to August. So that is just like months and months of beauty. It's gonna be a lot of work. This is raw land. I think I just put some cardboard down to kill the lawn last year when I covered it in mulch. So it's gonna be a lot of work, but like I said, it's not a super hot day, and I think that'll make the work a little bit more pleasant. So anyway, I will take you along and show you the work. All right, here we are in the orchard, I like to call it. And I'm gonna go through and explain what the process is. So here is a campanula, bare root, but obviously it is putting on some growth. So all 3 of these perennials want to be planted the soil surface just above the crown. So the crown, I had to Google this, and now I know, is where the stem meets the root system. So it'll be, I'm thinking just about here is where the soil surface is, because this is fresh new growth and I want to cover that, and then just have this little bit popping out of the soil. So that's the campanula, and this is the salvia snowhill, and same thing, it wants to be just below the soil surface, the crown. So you can see all that new growth coming out. So it'll be easy to put that one just below the soil surface. That'll be very obvious. That's the neighbor's guinea fowl. Okay, and then this last one is the goat's beard, Aruncus. And same thing, you can see the bright green foliage. That's the new growth, so it'll go just below the soil surface, the crown. There we go. I learned something new, and maybe you did too. So I've made holes in the landscape fabric, and I checked to see if the cardboard has rotted away, and it has mostly, or at least it's very workable, and it's almost all decomposed. So anyway, I've made little holes in the landscape fabric, and I'm going to loosen up the soil, add some compost and manure, and then plant those babies in. So this is the trio of holes I've made. I've given the biggest area for the Aruncus because it gets to be about 48 inches, which means it needs 2 feet on center, right? Because it'll be 2 feet on that side, 2 feet on this, well, all of the sides, it'll be 2 feet in center. And then I'll do the salvia there. I believe it's taller, and campanula there. And that'll be the trio I'm going to use for all the plantings I do. Well, I underestimated how far 75 plants would go, especially the goat's beard. It's about 48 inches wide when it gets big. So anyway, it filled up my space and I only used a third of the plants. I think I did about 25 plants, and I even did this little corner section here. I put 4 of them in there. So anyway, we have all behind me that orchard area I was talking about. And I guess I'm just gonna have to pot up the remaining plants into some pots and then put them where I thought originally, in that little cottage garden, down at the bottom of our property in this direction. Anyway, it wasn't too much work because it was less planting than I thought, but now I'm just gonna have to get creative and find some spots to put them, which shouldn't be an issue since I'm on an acreage, but I don't know. Sometimes you just lack creativity and you just need to sit on it and wait. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pot these up and then it'll give me some more time and I won't have to plant them in a rash moment. Anyway, that is all for today and I'll see you next time. Bye.